Hello and welcome everyone, it's me, the Laval, also known as the Power Tool Duelist, back for you with a new deck profile today with a pure version of Time Thieves. There have been some shipping issues, but I will get to that point when we arrive at the corresponding cards, so I'd say let's get right into the main deck and talk about Time Thieves. Starting off, the main deck is of course a 3-off playset of Time Thief Winder. Great part about him is not only can you special summon him from your hand if you detach an Xyz material from one of your monsters, but he also fetches a Time Thief card from your deck on summon, which obviously is great, and if you summon him off Regulator or just off his own effect, will mostly net you that retrograde that you need for that spell and trap negate on the opponent's turn. So he is indeed great. Next up, talking about Regulator, the most impactful normal summon of the deck. While this is the only monster you control, you contribute it, summon 2 Time Thieves with different names from your deck in defense. Great, enables Redoer, enables Perpetua, or any of your other rank 4s. And while he's in your graveyard, when an Xyz monster you control is destroyed, you can special summon him back. Great card. Then, the next main deck Time Thief is Time Thief Chronocorder. You contribute this on the field, and the next battle damage you would take is dealt to your opponent instead. And if a face-up Xyz monster you control leaves the field by card effect, while this is in your graveyard, you can special summon it right back, but it gets banished when it leaves the field. So if you banish your Redoer of his own effect, he comes back, which is great. Then next up, 3-off Time Thief Bezelship. Mostly here for the name, but also for the great graveyard ability of being able to detach a material from one of your Xyz monster to special summon itself back, which is of course great. And you contribute this on field to attach 1 card from your opponent's graveyard to one of your Xyz monsters. You will mostly use the graveyard effect of this thing, so there's that. Then, I was talking about shipping issues. Usually, this would be a playset of Gold Gadget. Gold Gadget, just like Silver Gadget, on summon, will special summon a level 4 machine from your hand, which is of course great not only if you draw multiples of those 2, but also because Regulator, Chronocorder, and Bezelship are all machine type monsters. So you could definitely go easily into your rank 4s with those cards. But as mentioned, there have been shipping issues. This is why I have only 2 of each gadget here. I've kind of replaced them, but I will talk those replacements in a moment. But yeah, on summon those 2, bring out a level 4 machine from your hand. When they're destroyed, they summon a level 4 gadget monster from your deck, which of course not only thins your deck, but also gets you more materials on the field to use for your Xyz summons. Then we have a playset of Goblinberg. Great card in rank 4 decks in general. On summon, or normal summon in this case. Switch this to defense to special summon a level 4 lore monster from your hand, which is great. Nets you basically a free Xyz if you have another monster in hand. You basically swap out one of those guys for one of either of the gadgets, if you want to go for playset of the gadgets like me, but you can definitely work with 3 Goblinberg as well. And then capping off the monster lineup is 1 Photon Thrasher. Great card. I really like Photon Thrasher. Artwork is great, and I definitely have to check that deck out at some point in the future. But while you control no monsters, special summon him from your hand. It's a level 4, searchable by Rhoda, just like Goblinberg, so it's a great card, and it can definitely start you off on some Xyz plays, but I found too bricky while playtesting with this. Then, with a deck so dark-based, Allure of Darkness is an obvious choice in terms of draw spell. Sometimes you will have moments where you don't really feel like resolving this, but in general it's still a great draw card, and with every main deck Time Thief, which are 12 cards after all, I think you have enough dark monsters to warrant running this card. So It's great for that. Then 3 Time Thief Startup. Quick play spell, special summon a Time Thief monster from your hand. Makes your rank force just that much more easy to put on the board. Also great, banish it from the graveyard and attach 3 Time Thief cards of the 3 major card types, monster, spell, and trap, from your graveyard to one of your Time Thief Xyz monsters. Yes. Great to net Redoer, a good amount of attack boost in combination with Time Thief Hack, but best part about this is of course the special summoning. Then 3 Time Thief Hack. Continuous spell, protects your Xyz monsters during the turn they were summoned. Good part about this is you can target one of your Xyz monsters, gains 300 attack per material under it, and if it has a material under it that was originally your opponent's card, which works great with not only Redoer but Perpetua, if you attach materials of Flyback to her, it can attack directly, which enables Redoer to often punch in for 3k directly, which is kind of cool. And enables this deck to pull off some quite neat OTKs going turn 3 and onwards. Something that helps with OTKing as well is Double or Nothing. Rank 4 base deck, normally you don't really have a lot of damage output, so just playing a Utopia package with Utopia Double and the vanilla Utopia in the extra deck is definitely an easy way to just slap Utopia Double on the board, search Double or Nothing, put a 5k Utopia on it, attack with that Utopia, negate your own attack, drop the Double or Nothing, and on the following attack, Utopia's attack will be doubled. So you can basically swing once with 10,000 attack points, which is neat. What you can also, of course, do is negate a Time Thief Redoer attack, so he can swing directly for 6,000 or something like that. Then, as mentioned, 1 Reinforcements of the Army. Searches your Photon Thrasher, your Goblin Burgs. It gets you cards out the deck, and if you play that amount of warriors, it's kind of neat to have. Then 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This is mainly to mill Time Thief Flyback out the main deck, because you want the graveyard effect from that card. But in general, just getting some cards out of your deck, and the deck really does not work with the graveyard that well. So I decided not to run Foolish Burial, but I'm not saying it's a bad option. Then just capping off the spell lineup is 1 Monster Reborn. Just felt like it was a neat one-off. As mentioned, Foolish Burial could also be an option here, but I feel like the deck does not interact with the graveyard that much. So I feel like the Monster Reborn is, in this case, better. Then 3 Time Thief Flyback. On-field effect is neat because it targets a Time Thief Xyz monster you control and attaches a Time Thief card from your deck to that monster, which you are mostly going to use to attach another Flyback to one of your Redoers to get that spin. But main reason why Flyback is here is not only, as mentioned with Foolish Burial Goods, the graveyard effect, that being that you can banish this to target a card in your opponent's graveyard and attach that to one of your Time Thief Xyz monsters, which is of course great, because not only can you rip cards out of your opponent's graveyard that he might need, but you also set up your Redoer effect or just generate more materials for Perpetua, which is great. So yeah, either mill this off Burial Goods or attach it with Perpetua's effect to your Redoer. Lighting is terrible, by the way. To your Time Thief Redoer to get that spin. Then capping off the main deck are 3 Time Thief Retrogrades. As mentioned, you want to grab this off Winder or just hard draw it. When a spell or trap is activated while you control a Time Thief Xyz monster, negate that card's activation and attach it to one of your Time Thief Xyz monsters as material. Great card, has insane synergy with the deck, nets you just the right materials for your Redoer because the spell and trap detach effects are kind of neat, and also getting new materials under Perpetua is great as well. So it's a very well designed counter trap in that case. Then going into the extra deck, of course, starting off with 3 Redoer Still 2 common ones and only the 1 prismatic I pulled from the Megaton opening. Check that out, by the way. Shameless plug over, but yeah, Time Thief Redoer is a great card. Generic rank 4, once per turn. During the standby phase, he steals the top card of your opponent's deck. And once per turn, you can detach materials from him. And depending on the type of card you detached, he will execute a different effect. You can detach a monster to banish him until the end phase, detach a spell to draw a card, and detach a trap to spin one of your opponent's cards to the top of his deck. Great, especially if you set up all 3 effects, because he just protects himself, draws you a card, and just removes something from your opponent's field, which is great. Definitely an awesome rank 4 that I will continue to play in a great amount of decks, and not only this, because the card is very cool. Then 3 Time Thief Perpetua, the better half of Redoer, I guess. 2 level 4 monsters, just like Redoer. During the standby phase, you can detach 1 material from her to special summon a Time Thief monster from your graveyard. And also by quick effect, you can target another Xyz monster you control and attach 1 Time Thief card from your deck to that monster as a material. Main purpose being that you have your Redoer on the board and just attach a Time Thief flyback to him to get that spin effect. But yeah, she's great as well. Definitely forms a great duo in combination with Redoer. Then, as mentioned, Utopia package. 2 vanilla Utopias, because you do run double and the lightning in this deck. Or I run double and the lightning in this deck. Rank 4, takes 2 level 4s, detach a material to negate an attack, but that's not what he's here for, in most cases. And as mentioned, we run 1 Utopia double and 1 Utopia lightning. Utopia double for the OTK potential, just making double, Utopia double, searching double or nothing, putting a 5k Utopia on top of him, and swinging for 10k once is very neat. And then just the lightning to get over problematic buddies, because detach 2, he gets amped up to 5000 attack. Swings over basically anything except maybe 5-headed dragon, but who runs that card? So yeah. That is it for the Utopia package. Next up, Gigant X. Takes 2 machine level 4 monsters, so you are kind of limited in making this. But detaching a material from him to add a level 4 lore machine from your deck or graveyard to your hand is definitely great. Is able to fetch most of your main deck Time Thief monsters, and also a great generic rank 4 to make in the deck. Then just generic rank 4 good stuff. Castle, detach 2, shuffle something from your opponent's field back into the deck. Tornado Dragon, detach 1 by quick effect and pop a spell or trap card on the field. And something I had lying around from the olden days, Steel Swarm Roach. Detach a material if a level 4, level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned to negate that summon and destroy that card. But as mentioned, this is a deck which gets very close to the rank 4 toolbox that we had years ago. So you can definitely include many rank 4s that you find cool or think are worth playing. And then I cap off the extra deck with 1 Wee Witch's Apprentice. Just because I just felt like that sometimes Redoer was lacking a bit of attack power. So I wanted to help him a bit with that. But as mentioned, you could definitely swap this out for another rank 4. So, and with that out of the way, as mentioned, you can look out for those gadgets and vary in the ratios according to what I said. But yeah, as mentioned in the straight out of the toolbox video to Time Thief, I really fell in love with this deck. It's just so splashable. You can do so many things with this. And I feel like I will probably not get tired of playing this deck in the near future. And yeah, probably will upload a few more variants of this in the coming months, as I have a few things in testing. But I will leave you guys with that, and Just as always, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time. But until then, goodbye.